In this training movie, I'm going to go over the trick to making reflective flooring look reflective. You can see in this image here of the reflective flooring that there is a reflection here of the table and chairs on the floor. That is actually an object that's been captured, flipped upside down, and made transparent. So we're going to show you how to do that. So let's start with a room that does not have a reflective flooring color on it. First of all, you must first define the area for the room. Now, if you don't know how to do that, go back and watch the training movie on the Define Area tool. But I've already defined the area in this image to save time. So I'm going to select on it. I want to put reflective flooring in there. I go up to Pattern Library. I'll change the secondary library to reflective flooring, and then I'll just select the color out of the library. So now we have the color on there. We want to adjust the scale of the color by going up here to Scale, sliding it to the right to make it a little bit larger, and that's good. So we'll click OK to exit this menu. Now we want to start the process of making a reflection on the floor. So the first thing you need to do is decide what is going to be reflecting on the floor. First of all, always lights will be reflecting. So if there are lights in the room or sunlight coming in through windows, that's always going to be a reflection. So in this image, I'm going to capture the table and chairs here and the windows around it that will be reflecting on the floor. So we go up here to the drawing tool. I'm just going to click around the tables and chairs, capturing the windows here. And now I've got this area defined. I click OK. I want to convert this into an object. You simply click on it and drag it a little bit. It'll ask you if you want to convert it to an object. Say yes. So now we have this as an object, and then we want to flip this object over. To do that, go up here to Object and click on Flip Vertical. It'll now make it upside down. We'll bring it down here to where the rug here intersects with the reflective flooring. Now you notice that this is kind of at a weird angle based on the image that's in the background here. So you want to kind of straighten that out so they line up. To do that, you use the warp tool. So we'll go up here to warp, and then we're going to click on this handle here, and I'm going to bring it up so that the top of this image meets with the bottom of the rug, and we'll bring this one here down so that it meets with the edge of the rug over here. And now I want to slant it off a little bit to the left. So I'm going to zoom out by pressing F9, and I'll grab these handles here and just kind of tweak it a little bit that way, and we'll zoom back in pressing F10, and now we'll click OK. Now we want to make this transparent. To do that, make sure it's selected and then right click on the image, and you'll bring up the bitmap properties. Change the transparency to something close to 90. We're going to start out with 90 and do the edge blend width somewhere around 2 or 3. We'll start out at 2. That way the edges are a little fuzzier than a harsh straight line. And then click OK, and you'll see that now we have a reflection there. Now keep in mind, you can always go back in and readjust the transparency of the reflection if you want to. To do that, you simply click on it so that it's active, right click again to bring up the bitmap properties, and go back in here to transparency and try a different number. And let's make the edge say 5 pixels now, and we'll click OK and see how it looks. Me personally, I think that is much too opaque and needs to be more transparent, so I'll change it back to say 88 and see how that looks. And I can live with 88 or 90, anywhere in that zone. But again, every image is different, so you'll want to experiment until you get the look that you want. And after looking at this for a minute, I see that the reflection of this chair is way over here to the right, and if it's slanting over to the left, that's not going to really happen, so I need to adjust that. Again, you could do that too by going back into warp, and we're going to grab this handle here, click and drag it over a little bit more, so now that chair is lining up with the reflection, or the reflection is lining up with the chair. And we'll adjust this one. Now maybe I want to slant it off even more, so I'm going to zoom out again, grab this handle, and bring it over here a little bit more. and then press F10 to zoom back in. Looks okay. We'll click OK. So that's how you make a reflection and adjust the reflection in an image. Now keep in mind you're never limited to one reflection in an image. You could go back in and make a reflection of this window over here. You can make a reflection of this wall here going off in this direction. There is no limit to it. Experiment around, try what looks good to you, and go with it. If it doesn't look good, just delete it by clicking on it and pressing the delete key.